people in this country, all the wonderful people in Liberia. Good evening to all of you joining us. I want to say hello and welcome to the show. I'm very humbled to be back here today. As a matter of fact, this is what we've got to do for our country, Liberia. No matter the difficulties, no matter the challenges, we need to be back here. And so I want to say thank you, Allah. Thank you, God. Thank you for making us to return after a weekend. Lots of engagements. Yeah, we are back again today to do the people's job. Brand new week, and the week continues. We continue to do what we need to do for our country, Liberia. And believe me, certainly there are too many things we're going to be doing. And so you don't want to miss today's edition of the show as we move towards lots of great discussions here today on the show. And so someone said, I'm very energized to do what I love to do for my country, Liberia. So we are back here again. Yeah, doing what we love to do best. And certainly my name is Sekou. I'm Sekou Sharif. With the blessing of my parents, I will be here up to 9 o'clock tonight on the show, bringing you all of the necessary information, reaching to areas that no one can reach so easily. We're going to bring you our international correspondence update here on the show. But there's a good news. There's a very good news for every one of us. Those of you that are regular listeners of us here, I want to say thank you to you. Thank you to God Almighty Allah. We've won another battle. And this is what we've got to do for our country. And this is what we stand for, advocating for the rights of Liberians so that their rights cannot be infringed upon by whosoever, no matter who they are, where they've got themselves to be. This country, believe in me, together, we're going to make Liberia a better place for each and every one of us. My name is Sekou Sharif. And so let me give you a line up of what we're going to be doing here tonight on the show. Shortly, we go to the international desk to talk to our international correspondents from around the world. Bringing you the news, what's happening from around the world. We're going to join our international correspondents to talk to us tonight. We're going to go to Gambia to talk to our Gambian correspondent. We'll make a stop way there in Nigeria to talk to Naomi Kombenda, and also making a move in Ghana and Sierra Leone, Cameroon. We're going to join every one of them tonight. Go to Tanzania, bringing you news, speaking to our correspondents. When we come back, right here in Liberia, we're going to have our sister and two of our brothers. They are former workers of Diaconia. Remember, we've been here talking about what Diaconia did to them and blaming Minister Ruth Bayoga for all the wrongdoings she carried out about what transpired involving Liberians as it relates to Draconian illegal redundancy. But there's some good news, though. There's a very good news, man. And this is what blessing of parents do for us. So, Jeanette and that of Augustine will be joined by one of their colleagues shortly. They've come here today to speak to the Liberian people to say thank you to you. They've gotten what they've been fighting for with the help of every one of us speaking for the rights of Liberians. Certainly want to say thank you to Minister Hannah Kabo. Yes, she did extremely well Unlike you have Ruba Yoga that sold her integrity for little or nothing. They will be my guest for 30 minutes on the show tonight to talk more on the issue, tell us what they've received. And, at one point in time, Minister Ruth Bayoga said, the people were giving me money. And so they will say to you on the radio whether they gave me a peanut or whether I even requested anything of such. Or they will tell you how did it go to reach to a point where they received that money. One of them said it was like a dream to see what that just transpired. It is the blessing of our parents. So at 7 o'clock, we take a break, we return, we go into politics. You have a few more days to the announcement of the opening of a campaign in Liberia. Yes, we're about to talk the big talks in the country. We're about to expose those of the people need to be exposed. Let the Liberian people know who they are. Mind you, the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia, now the standard bearer of Unity Party, had an engagement in the United States, and he had to say lots of unfounded things, which we're going to back by facts here tonight on the show. And the former vice president said, this government is not doing anything in terms of roles, healthcare, education, and much more other things he mentioned during his deliberation in the United States. And so today, we're going to provide you pieces of evidence. We ourselves will not say them, but we'll provide you pieces of evidence as to what records has to prove to some of the things the former vice president said. But we're taking a break now. We go to the international desk to talk to our international correspondents. And I can see my sister is here, Gina Augustine. They're in studio now. They are girls shortly. And so we're going to talk. When these things happen, we need to be grateful to God. You know what it means for you to talk for people and what you've seek for them. It has happened. And today we're going to continue to say thank you to Minister Hannah Kabo. Yes, she did extremely well. We'll read you communication from the Ministry of Labor and also the return from Diaconian here on the show. This is what we do here. We advocate for the rights of the people. No matter you in government and you want to do things against the rights of Liberians, we will deal with you. We'll expose you. And let me say this, fellow Liberians, as we continue to support the re-elections of President George Weah, it is time to think and think rightly. We go to the lines now to talk to our international correspondents. And the very first place we're going to make a stop going to be in Nigeria tonight. And so we're going to go to Nigeria on the program to talk to Naomi Kumbinda, where we're going to join her to tell us about this issue where the Senate today directed its leadership to meet with the federal government and the Nigeria Labour Congress to avert the impending nationwide strike action in the country. Why is it they want to carry out a strike action in the country? Naomi Kumbinda will join us. Recently, Nigeria went to elections and she has elected a new president to lead the country for the next years in which he's been elected to lead the country. Why are they going to a nationwide strike action, mainly the Nigeria Labour Congress? What is happening in Nigeria? Naomi Kumbinda is Voice of Liberia Nigerian correspondent. She joins us on the line now from Nigeria on the program. Naomi, good evening and thank you tonight for joining us on Nigeria.
Good evening, Teku. Thank you for having me.
This news coming in, it sounds very interesting where Nigeria recently went to elections and she elected her new president of the country. Why this time the Nigeria Labour Congress wants to have a nationwide strike action in the country?
Okay, so the resolution of the Senate here today, when they said they called for an immediate action to prevent the labor from carrying out the strike, was due to the fact that they said the strike was going to have a diverse and very hard impact on the Nigerian economy, which is already dwindling. And they also called the labor leaders to please calm down for the president to execute the plans for the palliatives which already approved so that Nigerians can have a succor for the suffering, which is occasioned by the removal of fuel subsidy. But the Labour is saying no. They are insisting that the government and the Senate are just playing games with the lives of Nigerians, and they insist that they are going to go on the strike on Wednesday at 7 a.m. when all Nigerians should follow. Senate is still on out appealing to the Labour to calm down and let the president finish his address this evening to be able to know what exactly can be done.
Could the drastic devaluation of the Nigerian naira also one of the reasons why the Nigeria Labour Congress wanting to strike in the country?
Um, so the monetary policies rolled out by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, federal government has not paid favorably to the naira. So the leader says is concerned that no government actually reasonably is national currency to the profits of the market. And so they are insisting on the union that on the government that the government must do something. The naira has gone so poor, so poor. It's now 800 naira to a dollar, almost 1,000 naira, and this has escalated, has increased. What do I call it? Inflation in the market, and people are really going through hell. So I think it's one of the major reasons why the Labour is insisting on going on this strike.
Newly elected President Tinubu, what has he been able to say concerning this in the country as he's just took over the country?
So as we speak, the president is giving a live broadcast to appeal to Nigerians to calm down. He understands the problems Nigerians are facing, but he inherited the problems as a matter of fact. He's not up to 3 months in office or less than, and he's trying his best to see that he fixes the problems he inherited. So he's appealing. But so far as we're speaking now, the president is actually on a live broadcast appealing to Nigerians to exercise a little more patience to see how the government can ameliorate the suffering of the people and also bring lasting solutions to the crisis befalling Nigerians.
Naomi, before we let you go, what do you think could be responsible for what's happening in terms of the hardship in Nigeria?
I didn't copy that, please.
What do you think could be responsible for the hardship in Nigeria?
For the attitude of Nigerians,
I'm asking you, what do you think could be responsible for the hardship in Nigeria?
oh, okay. Seko, this is a multidimensional question you just asked me because I know that there are several issues. The fuel subsidy removal has made life so difficult for Nigerians. Now, the floating of the naira to see that the naira competes with foreign currencies has equally elevated the suffering of Nigerians. Now, Nigerians cannot afford to go to work because they can't afford to pay the transport fare because the fuel which is used for buses to take them to work has been increased. The subsidy has increased. And so corruption basically is one of the issues affecting Nigerians. And you know as well as I do that we have lasting and multiple issues creating a hardship on Nigerians.
Thank you very much, Naomi Kumbinda. Naomi is voice of Liberia, Nigerian correspondent on the line from Nigeria. Tonight on the show, we're going to go to Ghana to speak with Jonas Biarubi, who's going to fill us in with the Minister of Finance of Ghana, Akin Afuri Atta, has revealed that Ghana is currently making modest gains in turning the economy around after experiencing several economic hardship in 2022. What are some of the measures put in place about what is coming from Ghana on the program tonight? Jonas Biarubi is voice of Liberia, Ghanaian correspondent who's going to join us tonight on the show. Jonas, good evening and thank you tonight for joining us from Ghana.
Good evening, Seku, and thank you.
I'm told the finance minister of Ghana, Ken Afori Atta, has revealed that Ghana is currently making modest gains in turning the economy around after experiencing several economic hardship in 2022. Jonah, take us through what the finance minister has been telling Parliament and the Ghanaian people in his budget review.
budget and it's approved at the middle of the year, is supposed to come back and account to a parliament who are actually are representing the citizens of Ghana as to how the amount of money he has requested has been spent and how he has managed the economy as the leader of the economic management team. So now, this afternoon, when the finance minister was in parliament, actually his presentation was actually towards the gains made by the government in terms of managing the economy. And then he also touched on some of the issues that came up that actually at the point brought the economy to a halt. And so he just actually updated and assured the government, apart from the IMF program that they have signed on, where 3 billion US dollars have been granted to them to use it to help revive the economy. It's saying that locally, government has also put up some kind of plan to ensure a sufficient use of the money that will actually help serve the purpose of which it was gone for. And so he actually did not want to accept the fact that they have not been able to manage the economy. And so he feel like regardless of all the troubles that our economy has gone through somewhere last year up to this point of the year, he said that a lot is still happening and they are still actually working so hard to revive the economy as has been planned.
Jonah, can you tell us what has been presented by the minister really reflect on the situation of Ghanaians in the country?
Yeah, so I actually would say no because one of the anthems he sang in Parliament today was that government has actually tried, and so he wants people to actually acknowledge government for the efforts put in, and so for him, they have been able to turn things around. And me, as a citizen, for me, I don't see it as so because what actually has been presented by the finance minister is not what is actually on the ground. Just somewhere last week, I reported that a minister for sanitation money has been stolen from her residence, about 1 million US dollars and 300,000. And so it's been part of the issues that Ghanaians are talking about. That whatever money that comes into the coffers of government is being spread accordingly to party members and appointees. And so it makes inflation going high. And because the money is not in circulation, people are actually suffering. So for what the finance minister is saying, for me, it's a political rhetoric that they just do not want to acknowledge the fact that Kenyans are suffering. But what has been written on paper to come and read is not the reflection of what is actually on the ground or reflected in the life of the ordinary Ghanaian citizen.
Were there any specific initiatives outlined in the budget review?
Quite unfortunate, there was no specific initiative that has been announced that they were going to put in place to actually relieve Ghanaians from this current shock. The only thing we can hear is that there are plans put in place, but what are the plans? We have not been told. What exactly is government going to do about it, especially the money that they have gone to IMF to collect? What exactly are they going to do? Which aspects they going to push the money into such that actually will yield some gains and benefits, and that it can translate to the life of the ordinary Ghanaian? There were no specific mentioned by the finance minister. And so for me, what got me worrying in this 2023 budget review was that instead of us looking at some taxes that are not necessary, as described by some experts, economists, we rather was seeing kind of a praise from the finance minister why government brought such taxes. An example of it is COVID-19 tax that was introduced. As we stand right now, COVID-19 is not there. It was introduced because they gave incentives to Ghanaians, and it's that they have collected those monies back, and yet people continue to pay for it. Another one was the sanitation tax that they feel like those money were to take to ensure that the country is being clean. They clean the country. So those taxes, people were expecting that in reviewing the budget, they will be taken off so that they can get some relief to the Ghanaian taxpayer, so that the little salary you take, those taxes will not come on it again. Then you can get some
Th-
side of relief. But
Thank you,
unfortunately, nothing like
thank
that
you,
happened.
Jonas. Thank you very much. He's our Ghanaian correspondent. We'll now go to the Gambia to talk to Amadou Kante tonight on the show, where the Gambian government has recently repatriated 127 stranded migrants from the North African country of Tunisia and Libya. On the line is our Gambian correspondent, Amadou Kante. Amadou, good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Good evening, Seiko, and thank you very much for having me once again.
Amadou, why do you think authorities endeavored to repatriate its citizens from the North African region?
Well, of course, like you have mentioned, the Gambia government, through a collaboration with the, of course, IMO, have brought back over Tunisia and in Libya, and I think the Gambia government feel need to bring these citizens from, because there has been a lot of concern coming from the relative and parents, and mostly Gambian children abroad who are really concerned in the deteriorating condition these Gambian citizens were going through. So I think this was the main reason why the Gambia opted to initiate measures to bring them back home.
Was the government or the move by the government generally welcomed by Gambians, especially relatives of the returnees?
That is a very interesting question, Sekou, because sometimes ago, Gambians were so much agitated with, the repatriation of Gambians who were in Europe, for example, in Germany, were allowed to be sent home, and Gambians were at all not happy with the government accepting them to be back home. But with this one, it was relatively accepted.
Okay, we're trying to. He's our Gambian correspondent, Amadou County. We're trying to reconnect with him. Amadou, you came in broken. You want to continue? Oh, we found. Amadou, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead. Oh, too bad, too bad, too bad, too bad, too bad. Let's try to get Amadou on this as we try to. You should have this number there. Let's try to get Amadou on that. Then we'll move ahead. We just give you lay information from the National Elections Commission. Then we'll go to our guest who's in studio tonight. Um, this is not. mm, so we want to bring you this information from the Gambia on the program um, tonight, where I'm told, according to statistics coming from the Gambia, majority of Gambian youths are leaving the country. For what purpose? Is it that they're going for a business patrol where people want to leave to go to other countries and do all yeah, man. Yeah. So we want to see as well we can conclude with Amadou. Then we come to this information. It's good to let the Liberian people know and start to educate you so you can know about these things and it's on. Uh,
And somebody new.
no, 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 no. Okay, let's do this. I think this should be there. Okay, so we try to see as well we can conclude with Amadou Kante, who's our Gambian correspondent. And as soon as we're through with it, we're going to give you this necessary information from the National Elections Commission as it relates to total number of registered voters as per the process has been ongoing and it is being distributed per counties. So you will know which one of the counties got huge number of votes and which one of the counties is just next to that. So we about to let you know as this issue from the National Elections Commission. Let me go to this and see as what I can have it here as we try to connect with our Gambian correspondent. So, as of date, as per what, let me go to Amadou. Amadou, thank you for rejoining us. Are you there? Okay, so let's let Amadou go. Okay, so let's go to the National Elections Commission. They provided an update on the just ended biometrics of voter registration process. So the total registered voters, according to what is said, is in the total number is 2,468,933. So this entire country, we have 2 million. Yes, and when they say 2 million, it doesn't mean that there are some people that did not register. There are some people that registered, they did not do it the right way. So when they carry out the biometric voter registration or they carry out all the necessary procedures and all of that, some people were not qualified and all of that. So registered voters are the ones they're talking about. So per county, you have Montserrat County, you have 891,201 persons. So Montserrat County, as per the record, is the highest number in terms of votes and people that registered. Nimba follows Montserrat, 308,421 registered voters. Uh, Bong, you have 233,463 registered voters. Mangibi, so it means that there's something I said today. I said Mangibi is even more than Lofa in terms of the number of votes, registered voters. So Bong County have 237,463. Mangibi has 184,425. Lofa County has 177,729. Grand Bassa County has 157,712. Grand Cape County has 86,589 votes, registered voters. Maryland County has 69,034. Bombing has 64,395. Grand Judea County has 64,061. Sino County has 56,011 registered voters. Bapulu County has 50,887. Grand Coup County has 42,729. Riverside County has 40,201. Then River G is the least, has 37,912. So meaning the more registered counties are the ones ahead. You got the Monserrato, followed by Nimba, followed by Bong, followed by Mangibi. So Mangibi has a huge number of registered voters sitting at spot number 4 in terms of the number of persons that have gone through it. But that is it, enough for you to know about it. Let's now go to our guests who really in studio here today. And I want to say I'm grateful to have our guests in studio. Let me say, do we introduce themselves and you get to know them? Let me start to say, ladies and gentlemen, right? Gina, they get one. Tell somebody to they get a second again. Gina, good evening and thank you for joining us today.
Good evening, Seku.
Mm,
I'm Chinechi Eseli,
mm.
former employee of Dagola India.
Okay. Former employee of Daconia. Do you miss Daconia? eh?
Of late, no.
Okay, of late, no. Okay, let me go to Augustine. Because come near the microphone, if you get it near to you. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Mm,
Good evening, my brother.
mm.
Uh,
Get the microphone close to him, like you should do in the other case of. Go ahead. Yes.
all right, thank you. My name remains Augustine S. Gideon,
Mm,
former employees of the Diaconia MDI.
mm. Okay. Do you miss Diaconia?
Well, I met some individuals in Diaconia. Yeah, but as an institution,
Mm,
it's somebody that drive the institution.
mm.
So for now, I don't really miss Diaconia.
Oh, okay. Okay, it feels good to have you people, and we thought that you could come and speak to the Liberian people First of all, because of time, we don't want you to be too bulky into what you want to say to the Liberian people. Just in short, how far are you people?
Wow, I think you can see a smile in my face
Hmm.
because the last time when I came here, I was so furious. But thank God, God first, and your institution comes next. You know, it was a kind of challenge, but a miracle took place, and we are grateful. As we are now, the Diaconia was able to settle us our service benefit. But unfortunately, on the same day that they settle us our service benefits, they issue a rate of someone, sparing out option of debt. So from here in the next 10 days, we will be responding to that rate and then going to court to exonerate ourselves.
Yeah, we're gonna reach to that. We'll talk about that issue. But Liberians are listening. Let me just let me set the foundation or the basis of this entire thing here. Some of you that have been listening a couple of weeks, we've been here advocating for the rights of some Liberians that have worked with Daconia MDR. And from all the pieces of evidence we gathered, we understood at the time that they were illegally redundant. But under the law, redundancy is applicable, is accepted. And so when people want to do redundant, the only thing the Ministry of Labor should do due diligence to know exactly whether uh, the redundancy in which they're talking about is actual and they're doing it for the just cause of what they mentioned in their letter. But it will interest you to know, fellow Liberians, the minister, one of the ministers at the Ministry of Labor in person of Ruth Bayoga, desperately performed. She compromised the case, and I can say to you, she was being compromised for what reason, what benefits she knows, and also the other people they did not do well. Based on that, the workers took the complaint to them, and in the letter they wrote to them, it was a letter for redundancy, but it was not a letter for old somebody or whatsoever. Ruth Bayoga, instead of her doing the needful, she let go that thing, and because she was being financially induced, she started to push for the workers to forcibly sign a document binding them to pay a loan. And based on that, we as an institution and our investigative journalists, we said no. The Ministry of Labor has no power to demand people to pay people debt in this country. The people that are responsible, it is the court that has the jurisdiction to tell people to pay. And we started to advocate for them. While we were advocating, Minister Ruth Bayoga went and had a press conference. Before having a press conference, we had a leaked email where the company discussed about her and saying that she will have a press conference in her favor. We read it on this radio. And to call everything short, her boss, who's Minister Hannah Kabo, right?
Yeah,
Minister Hannah Kabo. She has another name. She has, I think, a middle name.
call it.
Macaulay.
Yeah,
Minister Hannah
Macaulay Cabo.
Macaulay Kabo.
Yeah.
She didn't know about it. Fellow Liberians, and this is why sometimes people don't know. They say, "Oh, Seku, when Seku is praising you," but this is what when you do good, I will sit here and praise you. And I want to inform the Liberian people and the world at large. If you know Minister Hannah Macaulay Cabo, you need to call her and tell her thank you. She did extremely well. I'm going to read you the letter she wrote to the people. Based on our investigative issue, we're able to get the documents. Minister Hannah Macaulay Cabo has gained my respect because she did what she needed to do. And it was just as easy as the way that Russia had done it. But now, ever since the people should have received that money. But because Ruth is very corrupt, incompetent, she doesn't know what to do where she sits. And so when she did what she did, she exposed herself. So now she's been exposed where the right thing has been done. She doesn't have the face any longer. So to report to you, They're going to explain to you how much to receive and how did they receive it, if they took money from them, if they forced them to get money from out of the money they received, if whether I requested them to give me money or at any point in time they didn't do anything. Gina, let me start with you. Explain to us how much you received, how was the process, and how did it go?
Yes, first of all, I want to tell God thank you.
Mm,
When we went to the ministry, things were difficult in Minister Ruth here in
mm,
her office. So, but fellow Liberians, when God want to help you, He can send men to be a help to you. And I had this, they would get this, I would say, oh, they're God of us of Liberia. We know nobody here. And I had to came to the place. Luckily, when King we met one, says for matter,
mm,
and then she gave us second no more. But when we call second, we were prompt to the issue that, oh, okay, send me your document, like the redundancy letter and everything. And it was smooth. And from the day we started the process, if only like I was telling people, I say, people can be spoiling the government, but if we have people that stand for themselves and integrity, people will not spoil the main up there
mm,
because they may not know what happened. He appointed you, he
mm,
believe in you, he trust you, he appointed you to do the work. But from the day we met Seku, now a damn, Seku call us, he anything he want us do, he coming to all you buy own gas. Not like my first time to come across a Liberian young guy like you. We went to radio station, they charge us,
mm,
oh, give us this amount. In that kind of condition, while we don't have money, we lost our job.
mm.
So radio station say we have to pay 250. So people will gain it, they don't think they have play for 1, 2 day, they drop it. But when we came across Seku, oh damn, you want to tell some of my colleagues, they can say, like, you serious? I say, yes. And I'm shocked.
Mm.
We haven't given Seku $5 up to now. We got the money that we receive as our seven package. He said, you don't want down for us. Even though 10 things, he said, nobody will bring money been here around. And because of that, Seku, you are giving my respect. We are brothers and sisters now. Like I can tell
So,
you, I say you my own brother now, yes.
mm,
Because to see a young guy like you, young people we greedy.
mm.
We want everything for ourselves. But to see you so content, you rather give my respect. And now I know my husband, my family, everybody,
Mm,
you are giving our respect. But
certainly.
we didn't give Seku a damn. And up to now, we haven't given him fasting. Even at the elimination, I was surprised to see you
Mm.
to see the process to be completed. Yes.
Okay. So let's go to Augustine. Augustine, what have you to say?
Okay, in the first place, let me extend my gratitude to our Heavenly Father
Mm,
for being so much into our issue
mhm,
because there are certain things that will meet you in life. If you don't take time, you fall off.
mhm,
But by the grace of God, we're able to be directed. And since we got to know you, I have seen a brother.
Mhm.
On some things we may not agree, you as a brother,
mhm,
but a lot I have learned from you these few days. And just as my sister was saying, you have actually gained my respect
Mhm.
because this life we live on a very serious note. There is no young person you would just point finger at that this person is not money conscious, except the grace of God and somebody who just come from that orientation background. So I strongly believe that you were read the best. So I'm grateful to you and to our sister from the ministry there,
mhm.
Anna
Yeah,
Taco.
Minister Ha
Macaulay Kabo.
for the Cabo.
I up to the time that we went to the bank to collect our money,
Mm,
she was calling me to know as to whether this was not a kind of trick that Diakonia was playing with us.
mm,
Until I made her to understand that we receive our money, she was never relaxed. She was worrying about how we are going to get our money. And at the level of her office, actually that day when we went there, she did her best. To be
mm,
honest, just as she said it, she did her best. She was open with the process. Wherever there were doubts, she tried. If she doesn't have much understanding
mm,
on it, she will call one or two labor lawyers, put the form on loudspeaker,
mhm,
and then make her to get clarity about it. So at the end of the day, honestly, her office did well for us. So I must commend her. To the Liberian people, I want to be grateful because we came here and everybody that called was in deep empathy with us. So I want to believe their prayer, their,
Mhm.
effort toward this situation was really met.
Mm.
So I want to be grateful to the Liberian people.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Let me just read you the letter. Let me tell you something. When someone has been able to do good, we need to say Minister Ruth Bioga did not do well. She exposed herself, something that she should have done. She could not do it until her boss needed to intervene. And I'm told that her boss was not even in the country. That's the reason why she took over the case. And it is not the first case that Ruth has done this. It is her continual operations that she usually play with cases that relating to Liberians. But let me read a letter that Minister Hannah Macaulay Cargo wrote. You know, when I'm told upon my investigation that she came from a labor store background where they've been advocating for people and whatsoever. And there's a letter she wrote, Republic of Liberia, Ministry of Labor, Office of the Deputy Minister for Planning, July 21, 2023. She addressed the letter to Diaconia and said, Director slash CEO, Diaconia Microfinance Deposit Taking Institution, 135 Carey Street, Monrovia, Liberia. Reference servants pay. Oh man, that woman behaved like the way I love for the government officials to behave. You have the authority. You need to use it the right way and don't abuse it. And this is what that Hannah Macaulay Tabo has done. You've gained my respect and admiration. She said, Dear CEO, predicated upon a complaint filed with the Ministry of Labor accusing the Diaconia management of unfair labor practice leading to the unfair and illegal redundancy of 8 employees and the deliberate refusal of management to pay the redundant employees just severance pay, the Ministry of Labor, after a thorough investigation, has reached a conclusion that the Iconian management has no right to withhold any redundant employee servants pay and is hereby mandated to pay all redundant employees its just servants pay in keeping with section 14.5, 14.6c, D, and E of the Decent Work Act of 2015. Amen. That 18 that rules supposed to do everything okay, my own be running all around here. On this issue of the management claim of redundant employees indebted to management through credit loan and a planned deduction of said loan payment from the servant's pay, any attempt, I like, uh, let me say again, fellow Liberians, when people in government do the right thing, let us praise them.
Mhm.
Minister Hannah Macaulay Kabo, you have gained my respect and admiration. Listen to the content of the letter I'm reading to you. If you know what you know and you know what to do, you are not afraid to do what you're supposed to do. This is what that she has displaced. She not begging Diaconia to tell them, say, Diaconia, beg you know this. Because the law says you cannot take or loan issue from people pay. And in fact, their servants pay, they think here, Ministry of Labor and not code horse. To say they will take money. Okay. On the issue of management claim of redundant employees indebted to the management through credit loan and a planned deduction of said loan payment from the servant's pay, any attempt to do so, the ministry will hold the Iconium management liable for violating, yeah, for violating workers' rights, and that is punishable under the labor law of the Republic of Liberia. Eh, Hannah, you not give my adoration because they think they all kekele minister your get called rules are supposed to do. That is you could not do. In view of the foregoing, the podium management has up to Tuesday, July 25, 2023, to settle with severance pay for all the employees management, which is to be redundant to avoid any further legal ramifications. We believe that the right to hire and fire is the company's, but that is equally guaranteed balance for workers, employees to receive severance pay if redundant. Anything to the contrary has no binding force on workers, but denying the just benefit. This decision was done in good faith, void of any bias, but the law controlled to it. Note, these payments must be done at the Ministry of Labor, where the matter for severance pay will be finally closed between management and the affected employees effective signature on a release certificate. It passes the blah 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 blah. Then the woman said, Deputy Minister Anna Macaulay Campbell. Yeah, I enjoyed the woman letter. How can we waste my time on their calling letter? At the end of the day, they agree. They are letter, they agree. Let me just read the closing part of their letter, their calling letter. And they say, Honorable Minister, while it is with the right of the Aconian to make deductions from severance due to the remaining three employees, would like to inform you the Aconia is interested. Yes, you see the power of the radio, and when you have good people in the particular area in government, high, it looks very good. Now, this is what that Hannah Macaulay Cabo has done. Want to say thank you, and the workers have received their monies and whatsoever. But something here very interesting again. I'm seeing a legal document before you people. What is it all about?
Yeah, so I like I was saying earlier today, I that day when we got through with all necessary signature regarding the redundancy
Hmm.
service benefit pay, these people had a plan of taking this money back from us. So they took a sherry with them.
Hmm.
The sherry was kept in a
In a secret place.
plain clothes.
Hmm.
Let me say it that way. And the moment we received our checks, the lady came at the door and you know call our names and issue us these rates.
You say
So
a writ of arrest or writ of someone or what?
no, it's a rate of someone
Hmm.
sparing out action of death. So we received it. It was around 3:48 when I signed for it, and I took it home. I tried to go through it. So they gave us a period of 10 days to respond to this. So now we have to get to a legal person who will help us in the process
Mhm.
to see how best we can respond to it in adherence
Within
of the
time.
code
Mhm.
year time that they gave.
Mhm. What
Yeah.
about you too, Jeanette? Did you receive?
Yes, I received a letter.
I'm told one of your colleagues did not.
So he did
Yeah.
not.
So that the reason why he can't tell the bring people to you.
Actually, I he has
Yeah.
a situation, right? His daughter was born with hot water, oil,
Mm.
born oil. I mean, so the little girl condition is very bad. So he took the girl to hospital today. So up to now, he's sending me tests on the way coming. He
Okay.
really wants to be here. Maybe
Okay.
before we close, he will be here.
Okay. So let's go to the lines. This thing is a victory for every one of us, you listeners, and we ourselves here, the management of Voice of Liberia, and it's something that we all work together to have it to where it is. We're going to the lines now to listen to you, Liberians. Uh, it is not that because we've been able to make them and the right thing should happen, which has happened, that other people should use it to do what is wrong. When you work into institutions, always try to be on your right side, do what is right, keep all of the necessary information or document. With that, I think it helps a lot. And this is what the people did for themselves, right? So I'm done with the Aconian. I'm still waiting. I'm not done 100% because they've taken the people to court. We will be with them and we'll continue the entire process as it continues. But I'm not done with Ruth Bayoga. 0770 907 907 0770 907 Maybe you could call and talk to them and what have you to say as what has happened. At least they've the radio used radio to advocate for them today. They've received that money. They have their cash money now, and I check again. They went to the bank on Saturday. They got their money. At least they can do what they want to do with it for themselves, they and their family members. They're no longer into redundancy issue with Diaconia MDR. But what next is the quote. Hello, good evening. Oh, okay, we lost this person. 0770 907 907 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. Hello,
Hello.
good evening.
Yes, there is no connection.
Go ahead, my brother.
Yes, let me beg you consider me sit double a little bit concerning the case, the trouble you had on this guy on LDA.
I'm not talking about that now, please. I'm talking about the
Okay.
Korean issue. We can be talking about this. Then you change the thing like that. Hello. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah,
You coming in bad? Oh, go ahead,
yeah, this is Mr. Joseph.
Mr. Johnson. From where?
Yeah, my concern is when you work for an entity and you reach the age of retirement, you may retire, you are now entitled to 7K.
None of that thing we're talking. You see, you're listening to what the people are still talking about. That issue you're bringing different thing. Hello.
Maybe, how are you?
Good evening, sir.
All right, this is Robert Brown from the Broadway era.
Robert, go ahead, sir.
There's a situation here. It also happened to a company who have been racing on my Crown Watch program on Pana FM.
Hey, brother,
Now,
brother Robert. It's just
yeah,
easy as eating bread and something else that could be much more easier than what I'm going to say. We're talking about a particular case.
yeah, fine.
So let's
I'm
limit it to
coming
the
there.
case, please.
I'm coming there. If the employee ever took loan
Hey, sir,
and
we're not talking about that one. We're talking about the thing where, go ahead.
yeah, if the employee have taken loan and you are returning them, so the entity is responsible to pay that loan.
Sure, it's what we've
They,
been putting.
yes, and say the company is responsible to pay the loan because you are returning them. They did not commit crime. The same thing is happening to our company. Again, I'm following too.
Keep,
You have to talk about it too.
keep,
When
keep,
you want to do this too.
keep following.
And
We pray God you can succeed. Yeah. Thank you very
yeah,
much.
no,
I pray for you.
I'm very raising it. Isn't it? Yes,
Yeah.
the company we done you. Whatever phone that the staff are taking from the you, the company will pay.
Okay. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. We have 2 more minutes to go. Hello.
Good evening, good afternoon.
Good
Good
evening,
evening,
sir.
sir.
Good evening.
I'm Reverend Adolphus Bar.
Reverend, go ahead.
Yeah, I just called to have this concern clear since you helping the institutional people with the case. I'm wondering because I'm understanding that they took the loan based on a guarantor, and the guarantor happened to have been the institution they were working for.
Their salary was the collateral. I don't know
Yes,
how you call it.
their salary was the collateral at the institution that they were working with.
Mm.
If they had not been with that institution, they have a salary existing. They wouldn't have granted them the loan.
Mm-hmm.
This means that if they had received this loan based on this background, the institution is the sole guarantor of this loan. So whatever the institution decided to do later on, the institution must be responsible for the loan being paid back.
Mm. Yeah, we'll reach to
Instead of
that time. That
individual.
whole thing, yeah, we're definitely getting that money. Let's make it clear. They got their servants pay, They pay all their money, they did not deduct anything. So when we
Yeah.
reach to the issue about the quoting, we'll talk about it. Yeah, thank you very much. I just want you to talk more so that you can want everything. We're not taking calls again. Thank you very much. Gina, you need to wrap up and Augustine.
Yes, I just want to tell the library people thank you. And my big sister and mom, which is Hannah Makari Kabo.
Mm.
She really behaved like a mother.
They say we've not let us see you.
And she said, this is if you show me, that should try it.
No, right?
This is the two star.
No, right?
So I just want to tell Mrs. Makari Makabo thank you.
Mm-hmm.
She did well from day once we met her. The process been free. Then the first time we met her, I was like, we not arrived. Then I think about the first meeting, but
To
then
improvement.
yeah, why it ain't around? But then it then continue and continue. She's really a mother, yes. Because I didn't want milk, she was like, I'm thinking about your well-being. And Augustine, she talked to the man, she said, your father, you get responsibility. How about you, Jenny, your family? So she put herself in our shoes. So I just want to tell you, thank you, woman of God.
Mm.
Yes, you are
I know
really
you
a
are. I had to ask you, are you? She's a woman of God.
She's a woman of God. When we met her, and first day after our meeting, we pray,
Uh-huh.
and she's in a prayer. She said, "Jesus be revealed," and really, Jesus was revealed
Is,
in our case.
is she a Christian?
Yeah, she's a Christian. So I just want to tell her thank you. And to
Uh,
the librarians, those that were behind the scene, calling, doing their own effort. I just want to tell all of you thank you and to Seku, your staff that have been working tirelessly with you. I just want to tell all of you thank you. God bless you and your generation.
thank you very much. Augustine.
Yeah, also. So let me start by saying, Sekou, thank you for this opportunity because you don't even know how you started with all of this to reach this far, and we have this kind of opportunity. I mean, words are inadequate. I really want to appreciate you for what you did for us. And to the Liberian people, let me reaffirm. Thank you for the support, the empathy that you share with us. Thank you so much. And to our sister from the ministry, keep all the hard work. God is going to reward you. No man will reward you on this. I believe this is what you've been doing, and I believe you will continue to do it.
No.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. There you go. You know, it's very, very good. And this is how
My body so low under these legs, boy, I'm walking in my last 7-Eleven. I'm grubbing on the roof, grubbing if you say falling, ribbon, boy, I'm
this is how I like to take a break to be right back on the show. My name is Sekou Sharif, Augustine, and that of Gina being here on the show this evening, telling you about what our involvement did for them with the issue with the Konya and the R, and also the involvement of the minister at the Ministry of Labor, uh, Deputy Minister Anna Makole Kabo. We want to say thank you as well. We're taking a break to be right back. Oh, yes. About to talk about the political issues in our country. You hear him said, though. We're about to talk about the political issues in our country, Liberia. Hey. Oh, yes. Welcome back to the show, Issues of Today, here on Voice of Liberia 104.1. My name is Sekou Sharif. Inshallah, with the blessing of my parents, I'm going to be here tonight up to 9 o'clock on the show. Now, fellow Liberians, as we await the announcement of the National Elections Commission that has the sole authority to tell us when we should campaign and how we should campaign, I want to say that the political, environment is getting interesting. Politicians are doing what they want to do. They're connecting with the people that they've not seen for a number of years. Yeah. So there are a lot of speeches coming from the opposition hating the government, even though their speeches are worthless. The Liberian people know exactly who the oppositions are. They are not falling prey to some of the things they're doing. And the Liberian people know who their leaders are and they know what their leaders they've done for them in their lives. And for those of you maybe not in the know, Ambassador Joseph Newman Barker is currently in the United States of America. And he had an engagement with a few hand of Liberians in the US. And they had lots of things to discuss. And he was given the opportunity to address the folks at one of the events there. But today, what we're going to do for Liberians again is to enlighten the minds of the people, is to let them know exactly who the people are and what they stand for. Are they in the interest of the Liberian people? Are they saying the truth or they doing what they're doing because they want power? What is it that you Liberians need to know? Ambassador Boaka, with all due respect, now I want to believe that the old man is getting old. And when somebody say, the old man is getting old. Yeah, you say the old man, you say he's getting old. Someone said, you repeating yourself, yes. But when you want to describe something that is beyond being described, you need to use a word over and again to describe that thing because it is worsening. And this is the case of old man Joe Barker. Fellow Liberians, for the remaining 2 hours or 1 hour plus, we're going to focus on the speech or the statement made by Unity Party political leader. And why I say we want to make something out of it? It is so important to straighten the contradictions when contradictions are being made because we have a gullible society and people tend to look at things differently. And it is the sympathetic way that Joe Walker has continued to survive in our country, where he makes people to believe that he's not the problem, others are the problem. Which we need to let the Liberian people know that Joe Walker is one of Liberia's problems. Is one of Liberia's problems. Now, let's go to the interview or the conversation or his address he had recently, I think a night ago or two, with some citizens, few hand of Liberians that do not have voting rights. But before we go to that thing, let me start to say this to you. And I don't know how it sounds to you, but as for me, it doesn't sound well I think it's been very, very unpatriotic to the extent that you've devalued the people that have gone to school in this country. Yes, it one of the major reasons why Ambassador Boaka went to the United States was to go and have an engagement where they would form the government structure in a way where he will take people to serve in his field, even though he now won the elections, which he will now win, to set up the government. And at times, when the old man, the way he goes about doing things, and people say most of the things the old man does is solely on getting end results in terms of benefit. What am I trying to say? You know, when you go to the United States and make those of the people residing in the United States that we want to do a government of inclusion and we need people like you on the board, we need your names and whatsoever, even though he has not won the elections, it makes the people to believe that they will be there and then they will be pushed to a point to support. So the little cash that they have, they will be able to pay. You see the old man, they got a clean clothes BM, they get a dirty clothes BM, they get a clean clothes Zogo, they get a dirty clothes Zogo. So you can classify where the old man is to be placed. This old man is using the late political thing, and this late time he has to be in politics to arrange himself at the detriment of the people. Because he knows that by having these kinds of engagements in Liberia, even though Liberians that are here are the legitimate voters that are going to vote to elect him as the next president, if only if they decide, he left this country to go to the United States to go and have an arrangement where you can draw the people in the United States and say, you know what, we're about to give you this job and you'll be the minister in this place and everything. Then you want to ask, what become of educated Liberians residing in Liberia? Did not qualify to work in the government, or they're only going to be in the bachelor positions. Why you have the people from the United States? No, listen, we don't have problem with people coming in the country, but the same thing we continue to complain on that bringing people that don't know the problems the country faces. It is what have gotten to where we are. Unlike you have a president that is doing so well that has taken 99.9% of the officials of government from Liberia. If you really go through the current government, Mr. President has appointed the slum community dwellers in government. It is the people's government. But Joe is telling you he's not being elected, even though he's not elected. But Joe now is telling you that you Liberians are not fit to work in the government. But he goes to the United States to have the structure of his government and take those of the people in the states. Even some of the people that are in the states that are not qualified as compared to some of the Liberians that are here that have gone to good schools. But he feels and thinks that they are not the ones to serve their positions. Listen to some of, I see the old man now as the new comedian in town. When he's speaking, he's laughing. Even when he's speaking, you barely hear what he says. The old man is filling out by the meaning, but he's been pushed by the people in the party because they want to be active in politics. But the old man, he doesn't have what it takes to be that person he wants to be. I will play you the Omen for now. Some of you you agree with me. Just observe Omen Joe Boaka. Whenever he's speaking, it doesn't sound that strong way. Even though people have ways of speaking, but he struggles to have his voice to be out of to hear him. He sounds that sickening and weakening way all the time. But he goes to the States and listen to what they say. Now, Joe Walker is one of the persons that will go and make their country they want to lead to look so bad as if to say nothing good is happening here. Can you imagine Ome Joe Walker is talking about roads? Amen. Can you imagine Ome Joe Walker It's you- what have we found ourselves in? Hmm? What have we found ourselves in? Ome Joe Boka that served as the head for a big agricultural company in this country. What do we achieve? This is the old man that is saying something about another person that is thriving without any huge support as they've received in their government, wants to blame somebody for what they've destroyed. Can you imagine Ome Joe Boaka standing before Liberians and saying that at a certain point in time, he asked the late, uh, uh, um, what's the old man name? I used to be a governor commission. That why is it they were celebrating 176? Why people will celebrate the independence? What are they celebrating? Are you kidding me? You've worked in government for 46 years. Then you don't want us to blame you for the problems this country is faced with? How can we reach? How do you want us to talk about? Oh, the only thing he wants to be associated with when you talk about success. But when it is something that they feel desperately, it is not of his business. But you listen, and I'm going to put all of this into a proper context. And I will provide you the pieces of evidence to what some of the things he said as to prove him wrong that he's one of the problems and he should not be taken serious. The only thing he wants to do, maybe he want us to have a state funeral. Yes, this is what Ome Joe is fighting for because when he mistakenly becomes the president of this country, he dies in power, then the country buries him. Then he said, "Oh yeah, the former president of Liberia, and, that funeral that the country will pay." The old man want us to have a state funeral, and that God Himself will not allow that to happen to us. Hmm? That would not happen to us. Let us play you this this issue about um uh, okay. So let's go and play you where you have let me take this thing step by step. Let's go to this recording. The one you have one. Speaking of poverty, one. Joe Boaka one. Play Joe Boaka one. Let the Liberian people hear. Go ahead. Yeah, listen you. Mm-hmm. Play it.
uh, Liberians, and that's one of the concepts that we have. Liberians are known to be people of big heart, kind people, but over the last couple of years, we have drifted. And it's all due to poverty. And not poverty because we lack, it's poverty because of leadership. We're not leaders. We have had rulers, we don't have leaders. Everybody comes to the scene and they just want to do things and leave it just to have time. It is not a matter of calling you the title, it's a matter of service. And if people know what public service means, it's simply that public service. You work for the people. And you work for the people, and your blessings come from the way you work. But we have had a society over the years that a lot of people use the people to enrich themselves. And because of that, it had divided people, it had created poverty that we're not supposed to have. It has created situations that have divided families. And because people look at their lives and they see that they are, with all of what they do, they have made no progress. And so you envy one another simply because of that situation that has been created. We do believe that all is not lost. And I'm one of those persons who believe that God is still in control of our country. And that's why when I hear the Christmas card, I said that was in 2015. I said Liberia is 168 years old. Let's ask ourselves, are we where we should be? Are we satisfied where we are? As if from now on, in Liberia, love Liberia.
Okay. It's not ready, right? Okay. Fellow Liberians, I want you to listen and listen well. We're going to take this step by step. And so you will understand and you will get a clear message and what exactly we want you to know about. There are a few things I captured from the recent speech played. One, Joe Parker said, it is because of what? Poverty, hmm? Hardship in the country. It is not leadership we have. We have poverty because of the leadership we have in the country. Listen, fellow Liberians. Ambassador Barker is saying to Liberians that we have poverty because of the leadership in Liberia. I want you to listen. I want you to open on the system there, and if the manager or someone is listening, I should be having it, but I'm trying to lay my hands on it. The 2016 or 2015 budget, and everything we're going to say here today, we're going to say them all five. Joe Walker said, "We don't have leadership. It is poverty because it is a poverty that we find ourselves because of the leadership we have in the country." Meaning, he's directing this to the current administration and trying to make it look like there's no poverty or there was no poverty when they served this country. Meaning, when Joe Walker was a vice president, people used to eat 3 times a day. People never used to go through what they're going through. People used to get everything, people never used to, go out of current. People were taking everything. It is what that Joe Walker, went before the people at the United, in the US to explain what he explained to them. But listen to this issue. I will take you back about the time. I don't want to, push into where he is now because he has nothing to show. There's an old man that lived on this country for 47, 40 some more years. Yesterday, he doesn't have money to go for medical issues. But when he talks about leadership, he say we don't have leaders. We have ruler. Then I will tell you, I will define to you what is a leader, and what is a leader, and what a leader does. A leader helps people like you, which a leader has done. When you needed assistance, you needed assistance that you could not afford to go for medical attention. A leader helps you in the process. But look, we reach to that point. Go to this recording, play this recording where this old man was talking about something in the United States, saying that it is because of poverty and the leadership has brought poverty on the Liberian people. In 2016, fellow Liberians, I'm going to play you this from his country, from his town in which he was birthed, in Wasonga. This is a religious prelate. And you know the God people can lie. This man that is saying today that this government has brought poverty on the Liberian people. Listen to someone from his village called Wasonga when he was the sitting vice president of this our beloved country. Hmm? The people never had they men they didn't want to bring poverty. The people never had what? Safe drinking water. When he was a sitting vice president of this country, hmm, the people never had teachers. A sitting vice president. Play the one where they're talking about the teachers issue first, then before we go. This is a religious prelate. Play that audio. I want you people to yell.
Have not been built yet.
Hmm.
So how many schools, how many teachers do we have? Around here, we have school in Konkama and we have school here. And teachers, uh, how many teachers do you have? Only two teachers. Even here, two government teacher and the rest now PT and all. Parents have to pay them, and where the parents will get the money. That's why in Konkama we have from elementary to sixth grade, we only have one government paid teacher, and five teachers are teaching. Those have to be paid by the community.
How many people live in this?
Probably around 5 to 600 in this particular town. Konkama will have up to 500.
This is the town, the player I play the 5% coming from, right?
Yes, surely. But the road have not been
Okay.
built.
Y'all listen, yo. Be my own. I will put it in simple Liberian English so the Liberian people will hear it. Joe Walker, the first audio we play, Joe Walker said, the leadership, the government bring poverty on the people because of the leadership. That's the reason why poverty is high. But I don't want to go to statistics. I don't want to. I want you to hear for yourself because sometimes you read statistics and you give people information about when they were in power, what's the rating in terms of poverty in Liberia. That one I'm wasting time. I'm not going to that. I have everything, but we'll have it for another time. Now, the voice you just heard was a religious prelate in 2016. By that time, Joe Butler was still receiving millions of dollars in his budget. He was still receiving all kinds of money. But in his hometown, the least thing he could do. Now, let me tell you something. A leader is a person that leads and impacts the lives of the people in a positive way. That's a leader. A leader that wants to see his people lives better. That is a leader. A leader that wants to do what he can do to improve the living condition of the people. That's a leader. There are somebody that not live and continue to live on the sweat and blood of the country and think that it is his entitlement or that Joe and people get a place that only Joe is supposed to be in power, that only the workers are supposed to be in power. But listen to me. This religious prelate was being interviewed in Wasonga. You listen to the man said in 2016, only three government teachers they had. The easier and least thing that they could do, that Joe could do for himself as a sitting vice president, that time could not boast of teachers. Only three. And in fact, the remaining teachers were being paid by the suffering mothers and fathers that could not afford. Then Joe is talking about poverty in this country. Are you kidding me? What this old man is very dishonest. You serving as vice president of our country, you have millions of dollars in your budget that you could even take something to even help your hometown. Hey man, listen, what a leader could do in that case. You don't need to spend money. That's the reason why they issued about advocacy. A leader always seek the betterment of the people he or she leads. It's because Joe Walker is not a leader. He could not advocate or have the Ministry of Information, I mean, the Ministry of Education informed that in Wasonga, we only had two or three teachers with the population of 500 plus. Schools don't have teachers. In 2016, this interview was being done. But Joe Walker is here talking about this government, say, this government, it is because of the leadership that poverty has grown to the extent, or it is because of the leadership we have poverty. Are you kidding me? That's being dishonest to yourself. So why didn't you provide teachers the least that you could do? that allowing the people that could not afford to pay teachers to teach their children, and you say you are a lover of education. You want us to believe that you are a lover of education? Hmm? How do we believe that Joe Barker, you are a lover of education when you could not help the people in 2016? Now we need to take the people back to where they've come so that you can know them because they're doing these things to confuse you and make it to look as if to say they've got solutions to you, for your problems. But they forget you to know that they've desperately performed in the past. And this is what that Joe has done. Joe is talking about this government in terms of poverty, but he's forgetting to know that in one lane village, he could not impact the life of the people in that village. That's something that he could not even for God's sake, man. Let's say it is not, but Joe might just say, okay, you know what? I will pay the fat teachers, the private teachers. I will pay them because I want the people to go to school. I want the children to learn because I want them to have a better future like we have. That's how a leader behaves. That's the reason why you see the president when it is not the function, it is not the responsibility of the president to send you to go when you're sick. But that's how a leader behaves. That's how a leader behaves. So the leader, Mr. President, no have no right to send you out. But he did it because a leader always seek the interest of the people he represents or he leads. Now you, where the people in your own hometown, what make you a leader when the people in your hometown cannot feel your impact as a sitting vice president of the country? Hey man, I want to get a racing car. I want to get Ellen supposed to tell you, say, Joe, go marry people to get teachers. Hey man. But you know why? This old man is always associated with failure. So he doesn't do anything good. He's associated with failure. That's the man right there. That's the man right there. So we go to the issues there where they use the people, to enrich themselves. Hey man, for God's sake, if people talking about somebody enriching themselves here, who's using the people to enrich themselves? And not Joe. Joe, when last have you done other work apart from government work? When last are you not using the taxpayers' money? So you don't live on government school now. You're doing everything to come back there because you want also have a state funeral. God will not give that punishment to us. If we've done anything to God Almighty Allah, He will forgive us. But He will not give that punishment to us for us to have a state funeral. God will not do it. God will not do it to us. If that what you want if that what you want you think will happen to our country, to come look at you and put you there, and you think go for even 2 years, we don't have control over life, but you are very sickening to the extent the person you say is not a leader, is the person that came and assisted you. Evidence of what even your best friend now you have, Senator Prince Johnson said, you could not leave, anything, and then the person you call ball, and the ball head and took you from where you were. It should be a disgrace to you. Then you say, oh, the people erasing themselves. Now let's put it in this context. Because at a particular time, he said, oh, the men never had anything. Somebody that never had even one place to sleep. And then they took over, they have all out of buildings and everything. Listen, in all fairness, take you Joe Walker out of government and governance, take Mr. President out of government and governance, and put the both of you in private life. What did you do in your private life? Do you even have a private life? You don't compare yourself with the president. You don't do it. There's a man that has become successful. Joe, the only time people got to know you as history will remember, it is because you became a vice president. If Ellen could not pity you, you could not be a vice president in the country. That because Ellen decided to choose you and serve as her vice president, do you have a name as compared to George Weah? There's a man that put this country on the map. Hey man, why can we respect our own? Why can we respect our own? This old man is saying that Joe, we are not have any sleeping place. He just became president and everything showing jobs, properties. Even on 9th Street, the property that got burned by angry crowd where they say, oh, the man did not win it. It was even far better than that thing you call horse. Where you are living now is better, far better. The place that you tend to be or parking lot. Oh, federal Liberians. So Waka played a parking lot now. The men get parking lot. You get a kekesa, you get a Tesla, you go, you pay your ma, you park your car there. That's how the old man has gone so low. Then he wants to say that the president, you cannot compare your private life with the president's private life. You cannot. Because this man has been so he's you know when he blesses you, no one can do anything about it. And this is what that God has done for the weirds. Okay, let's leave there now. Look at your children. Look at his children. Even Tumete Weir that is not playing international soccer, he's far better than your son Tantan. Far better. So the only thing your children will boast of is the club where they allow people to go there to go drink, smoke, and everything. Misuse, do all kinds of things. Then on the side, you get your little car parking lot, keke car parking lot. The people kind of park their beat there and everything. Then you say, they may never have anything. Now you got all the buildings around. So it tells me that if you don't know the value of what you have, other people know the value of what they got. And it is the case. Oh man, somebody want to ask, oh man, what you did with all the money? Where the money go? What in you want to believe say you are into all kind of, you say you young man. Oh yes, you work for the number of years. But now, oh man, we should not be talking about where you are. So the woman said, oh, the government has created a situation that divided people and families are going against each other. Amen. How can you talk about issue like this when you were the head of CPP under your watch? CPP collapse. Then you say that government made that one again. That you could not even control a minute portion of people that jointly agreed to do certain things. You could not control them. You could not bring them together when there were discussions or they were dividing themselves. Then you want to discuss it on a national scene, say that because of what this government has done, it has brought what? Division among family members or whatsoever. You know what, Joe, you've done? And let me say this to you. If you don't know, you need to start to think about this. You need to go pray all the prayer. Hmm? Hmm? You need to go do all the prayers because it won't be possible. You cannot win first round elections. But I'm still confused as to whether you will have people supporting you when even you go for second round mistakenly because you've gone against almost all the opposition people. Let communists there. You think communists will look at you? Free side communists can support you. Free side UA can support you. Free side the ANC, the LP people can support you. So who you going to now? You just yep. Then you want to come and blame somebody say what they've done. It has brought separation, division among family members. If who should be talking that thing? You they should be telling you because of your weak and selfish leadership, you could not maintain CPP. You could not maintain CPP. As an older man, as a father, you should have played the fatherly role to keep CPP together. But now you still have CPP. So you're not fit to talk about people dividing people. Yeah. You are the worst of all that have divided the people, and you went to the extent you promised the other person, you promised the other person, you promised the other person. That's how a calm BM can behave. Then the woman said in 2015, that President we are in power. And it reached me to a point. I said sometimes the old man can talk before he think. When you think before you talk is good, but when you talk before you think, then you can talk and you just talk all kinds of things. Then you come back and you start thinking, you know, but I don't want to say. I'm supposed to say, oh, I think it is what has happened here again. The old man is mentioning 2015 in his speech and saying that he was asking as to what they're going to celebrate in terms of the independence. Who was leading the country? It was you and Eileen. You people are whining and dining, doing what you wanted to do. Said, who has to 2015, 2016, Mr. President be answerable or responsible for that? When he was nowhere around the presidency, it was you, Joe Walker, and that of Eileen that were running things in this country. Were doing anything you wanted to do. So, like I said, at times it is because he's aging, it is getting worse by the day, and so he says things, and he comes back and think about it. But I don't think you should be blaming George Weah for 2016. 2016, Mr. President was not the president of this country. It was you as a vice president. It was you and former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. You people were the ones that are running things in this country. How come you want to blame President Weah and say that, oh, why should people? So you should be telling the people that you people failed them, so it was not important to even celebrate the independence. Let's go to the next recording. We'll play you more recordings of what the man, what he said and some of the things he said, and and all of that. Let's go to the second recording you have, Joe Parker 2. Let's play it, and you listen to what he said. Everything we say, we're back then tonight.
In 2016, I believe Dr. Sawyer, independence. I said, what are we celebrating is the age of development. Maybe some of these critical questions set you out and people begin to think, but it's selfishness, greed, that's where we are. 176 years. It's not days, not weeks. For a country that has been to the biggest country in the world, if you were not for something by now, like we wouldn't even be visa to come to America. Foundations have been laid long time ago. You look at our country today. Look, you go to Sierra Leone, you can mail at that time. If you go to a house, if you go, and even at that point, the state was looking out to us. Today, the only part of the road that I laid up, the pay avenue, and even though the street crossed from one side laid out the other side, how long does it take you to understand that it is a matter of leadership that included us? And I think I believe that God has a time in everything. You travel all over the world, you are received, go from airport to airport, look at all over. You go to Togo, you go to these places. Countries that just less than 70 years old, go to their airports. One of the places that you always want to go is home. I don't care what we call it, it's home. But by the time you get to Monrovia to the airport, you get discouraged. You can't find it, right? You can't find it, you can't do it. Sometimes you want to find it, take the time to come. And when you go home, you're not really going home because if you are from Lofa, you come to Monrovia, you can't go to Lofa. There's no road. 176. And that's a situation that we have to change. In 2016.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now you see when the old man that is so desperate to become president, at times he contradicts himself. He says things like I said, without due respect. Now I've got to believe that the old man speaks, he comes and thinks. You know, when you think before you speak, it helps you and guide you as to what you need to say. But in this case, the old man will speak, he comes and think. Yes, something. The old man said in 2016, he said another thing again. He talked about 2015, he came to 2016, said, he asked Dr. Sawyer the late, what they were to celebrate as Liberia's independence, and he was asking, were they celebrating development or old age or whatsoever? So now, fellow Liberians, you see how Ambassador Joe Walker they are dishonest, knowingly, willfully doing something and pretending. Joe Walker has been vice president, fully aware that for the 12 years they served this country, they did not do anything. Even though I will play you a recording where he himself said the role of the vice president is to preside over the Liberian Senate and to assist the president. So it means if anything bad happened, he's involved because he's been assisting his boss, which is fair enough. So 2016, and they will continue to validate some of the things. We continue to say to you that these people are a bunch of unserious people. They don't have anything to do for you. They only want to get themselves into power to enrich themselves because the thing say the government job is their entitlement. Like I said, they want not to think that we're going to have a state funeral. No. In 2016, you're asking, you blaming yourself because of selfish and greed. So in that context, who should we blame that was being selfish or being greed? Who? When you sitting as the vice president of the country, isn't that you? Isn't that your former boss? You people were the ones that running things. Why didn't you people settle the road problem of our country for 12 years? You want to blame somebody that if Nana spent less than a year you spent and have even done better than what you did not do in your 12 years. Then you want to blame that type of person. So the old age problem that you people created, you've been working in the government for 46 years, created most of the problems, did not do what you people needed to do to alleviate and get some of the problems that we are experiencing today, but you want to blame this government. Now, let's go to something else. You see how these people are? No, ma'am, let's be honest. Sometimes the politicians play on our intelligence, fellow Liberians. Can you imagine Ambassador Boaka of all person, educated as the way he is brave enough to say that Liberians by now shouldn't have gone to the embassy, the US embassy for visa if the government could be doing something better? Amen. Amen. How do we go down so low because we want to carry out faggery? This is faggery on the part of Ambassador Boaka. And somebody's asking me, did Ambassador Boaka understand what he explained? You say because if government come to be doing well, if we come to be going, we come to need visa to go to America. Are you kidding me? What sort of sense does that make? Eh? Okay, listen. Europe, hmm? Very developed countries, right? Do you know that you need visa to go to States, even you are a citizen of any of the countries in Europe. So they're not doing well, right? They're not doing well. That only Liberia has claimed by this old man, Liberia could be doing well, but now we couldn't have, or there could be no visa. You get work or you get anything, you go to America. Now it tells you how the people are not coming to you with the honest story. They're coming to you with favor because they want you to believe that this is what they can do, even though they don't have the power. Joe Biden can become president for this country for the next 100 years. He doesn't have the power to make us not get visa to go to the United States. It doesn't lie within his purview. No government has that power or can make it happen that you don't need visa to go to the US. But you see what the man is doing? He's playing on the intelligence of the Liberian people. He knows. Joe Biden knows. It doesn't make sense that you say, oh, if the government doing well, I don't care how this government will be the perfect government ever in the history or whatsoever. That cannot in any way make any citizen to say you're welcome to go to America, you can get visa. If you honor Joe Biden's dream government, there will no there will be no day where you will say you don't need visa to go to America. Then you want to ask, how did the old man reach this point to go so low and say these kinds of confounded things? This educated old man. So it tells you that they are not coming to you with any real or tangible issues or solutions. What they're coming to you with, they're coming with favor because they don't have anything to do for you. They don't know the direction. They are wondering as to how this government under President Weah is succeeding because they've been there. They could not do it within the 12 years. But in 6 years, this government is doing it. You talk about airport. You see, they say, do your own and lead the rest of God. God will fight the battle. This is the key. I think a day or two ago, this one, I'll not waste my time on it because, in terms of experience, in terms of connection, in terms of whatsoever, Ellen Johnson Sally is more than Joe Barker 100 times. This is a post on the Instagram page of the former president. I'll read it to you. And Joe Barker say he not travel around the world. They got other good airports. Our airport not good. Thank you, Baba. When you are there, they graded our airport as number one in the world. Thank you, Papa. But let me tell you, maybe you forget your boss, your former boss. Listen to what she said. Listen to what your former boss said to us. This is it. I'm going to read it. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf at my Ellen Sirleaf, her Instagram page. She wrote, she said, on my recent travels, I was impressed by the improvements made by airport management at Roberts International Airport in Liberia, including the new jet bridge. These changes will make a difference for Liberians and make a positive impression on visitors coming from abroad. That I mean talking to that I mean that your walk out from boss did talking so and you listen. You see, fellow Liberians, everything I will do here tonight, I will speak with facts. Joe is saying in the United States, bravely saying unfunded things because he wants to buy the sympathy. He wants to get money from the people again to say, oh, we're going to rally, we're going to do this. The man said, we get good apple. But her boss lady is there. There have been lots of improvements, and it is good that under which government, it's not the George Weah government, federal Liberians, you need to open your eyes. These people are on a mission to stop the good that is happening for you. They're not coming with anything good. Oh. They don't have anything. Because imagine at the age of this old man, he's being unrealistic in his politics. He cannot say the truth. Imagine this old man saying that we don't have good airports or whatsoever. Everything. That is what your former boss that usually travel on a weekly basis. You only travel once in a while. I've traveled. I've gotten on a flight from I think one time it was Ghana, another time Ivory Coast when I did a connecting flight. I think four different times when the Minister McGill was the then Minister of State. We rolled the same flight. I think two different times. We were coming back to Liberia almost all the time. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf seen the air. The other people work and go travel once in a while. You listening to Ellen saying to you that there has been lots of improvements. Let me read it again. Joe say the airport, we didn't get anything. Look at the petty thing the papi talking. He said luggages. Even in the United States, I've traveled to well-developed countries. People got problem with luggages. These are things that are normal to traveling. Hey man, how do we go down low? Is this what we're gonna bring to the Liberian people? Okay, so Joe Barker, you're gonna post it that nothing will lost? You must be dreaming. Tell the people what you have to offer. So it tells you that they lack vision. They don't get anything to say to you. They get nothing to present to you. The only thing they have to bring fake things to you, make things to look as if to say they are better than what is happening. They don't have anything to show. They don't have anything to suggest to you and say, this is what we can do. So are you saying to all Joe Boaka, when you become president of this country, no luggage will get missing to the airport, even though it's not something that we encourage? But now, let me tell you something. That place is more sophisticated and it helps a lot. A friend of mine, a guy I usually purchase my things from, he sent goods. And then mistakenly someone took the issue there. And I called the people from the airport. You won't believe it. The people carry out the investigation. We discovered videos and all. And they were able to get the items and all of that. And we got to understand that the person that brought the goods were the ones that did what they did. That's how sophisticated that airport is. Then the old man is saying, yeah, also when luggages are missing, it is not the airport authority. You know what happens at times? The flight don't bring the luggages, either because of the weight or whatsoever the number of things they need to get on the flight. But the old man don't know about that one. Oh man, they wanna open you. Honor the government, plenty things people about open to that other level they can hold. The government are open people able, people not travel, they not go to come back. They're not doing your time, eh? People they want to use a trial when they in the gay business, oh, before they do this, they want my happy. Oh. No, honor the government. Young people are traveling the experience. Let me read you the letter and the post from his former boss. That your former boss will tell you, say, Joe, you lying. And I'm you talking. Listen to it. On my recent travels, I was impressed by the improvements made by airport management at Roberts International Airport in Liberia, including the new jet bridge. These changes will make a difference for Liberians and make a positive impression on visitors coming from abroad. You see, the Ellen talking the thing here. Then Joe is in the United States, they lie, say the airport. Listen to the people who think what they say happening here. That what the reason they say the machines government. The airport now go. When you bring your luggages, it can lose. So you put Joe Barker there now, no luggages will lose. Everything as such, you need to dance there, the airport will provide car, you'll be carried to your house. When you reach to your house, you open your door, you put it there. Hey, oh man, Joe, how you reach the other point here? Papa, when nothing there to tell the people leave it. They young men, yeah, die time. The people let the man again for the second. Don't suffer yourself. The man will go for 12 years. The thing you day, the man will do it and will expose you that the young people can do more. Then the old man talk about lofa rule. I mean, I don't waste my time. I can say lofa rule. And you're listening to the man in your own time. What do people say about the rule? In a small own time. You're listening. Let me go to what did people talk about the rule? He said all the groups are help. I want to know lack of teachers. I want to go where the play they one what they say they want I want to get the place where the people talking about roads issue in his own country. Hmm? Uh okay. So let me go to this. Okay, play this one. What are people talking about? The organization and other groups play the one where the town chief in Wasonga says GRZ and other groups. Play that one here first. Let's hear something. Mm.
Pape,
So,
Yeah.
tell us about agriculture in your play. What in your doing about agriculture? What in the government helping you with agriculture with in a play?
Uh, for agriculture, I think 2 or 3 years ago, 2010 to present, we are having the NGO like DRC, also submitting posts, they help in some area, rural construction. The agriculture, DRC, they help us with food materials, fertilizers, fire, and what have you, other things. That's all we have.
That one alright for you?
Men that drown in the water, in the ocean, anything they give you to hold it, you have to hold it. It's
So,
not all right for us.
Pape,
so
Mm-hmm. And yeah, this man is a religious prelate. When they talk to him, I think if he stay alive, he's a pastor for one of the, I think the Lutheran church there. You listening to this man. This Joe Walker is talking about rule. But if you go ahead and check the record, this government has done more roads than the past government. But you listening to this man telling you it was the, G. Azel or Samaritan prayer that even helped them with road. When Joe Walker was the vice president, he didn't care. The man used to go on a bar road and go to the place. He didn't care. It is this government that has been able to make road to go to Lofa County. This government. It is this government has been able to make road to go to Lofa County. Imagine the people are saying, even in the conversation here, that in terms of agriculture, Joe Bucker did not help them, but only G as a American press and also with the rule. So let me ask your fellow Liberians, what can we point to that Joe has done for this 46 years he's been playing in government? So we might just be giving something because the people here, the workers are meant for government in that hometown. Even my community, if God help me, my people in the community will not say, God help me. But Joe Butter in the place there, agriculture, play the other one. What are people talking? What are they asking about agriculture? Joe Bucker talking about agriculture. They play it. Something that we all say that Joe know how to do. Agriculture building, he go in that one that he get go ahead. You listen to it.
president, now the vice president who time,
Yeah,
the vice president, everybody know him in Liberia for agriculture.
yeah.
He now served the agriculture sector for a long time in the country.
So,
What is his own contribution that you can boast of, or this town can boast of, or Foya can boast of?
yeah. We have few oil palms and cocoa.
you.
When you say few oil palm, what do you mean? That the government got it, that the VP got it,
That the VP,
or,
me and say get.
or for himself?
Yeah.
How about you?
Some of us, you have to struggle on your own before you plan.
So,
Through the
Stop
help.
it right there. Y'all listen to the Liberians. This interview was being done in 2016. This is one of the elders of Wasonga and the pastor for Lutheran Church. Can you imagine? Play that thing again. Let it be. You're listening, fellow Liberians, you're listen and listen well. The sitting vice president that is known for agriculture could not help the village people with even cutlasses, with even wheelbarrow to even do farming. You get it? Few air palms they are for the vice president. But all the other ones, you gotta struggle. What's the impact this old man has done? What kind of man they? You can go anywhere to tell you anything good about the man. The man only wanted for us. Play that thing 2 times in a row.
That the vice president who time,
Yeah.
the vice president,
Mm.
everybody know him in Liberia for agriculture.
Yeah.
He now served the agriculture sector for a long time in the country here.
So
What is his own contribution that you can boast of, or this town can boast of, or Foya can boast of?
yeah, we have few oil palm and cocoa.
When you say few oil palm, what do you mean? That the government got it, that the VP got it,
That the VP
or,
means I get.
or for himself? How about you?
Some of us you have to struggle on your own before you plan through the help of agriculture sometimes.
So you're not farming yet?
We are farming.
So you're coming, you're from you're making it big enough to feed some other countries going around, or only your own say,
No, we feed ourselves and support our children.
Okay, tell us your name now and your position here. Eh?
My position I serve as the pastor of the Global Pentecostal Church. Yeah.
That the vice president who time here? The vice president, everybody know him in Liberia for agriculture.
Yeah.
He now served the agriculture sector for a long time in the country here. What is his own contribution that you can boast of, or this town can boast of, or Foya can boast of?
We have few oil palms and cocoa.
When you say few oil palm, what do you mean? That the government got it, that the VP got it,
That the VP means I get.
or for himself? How about you?
Some of us you have to struggle on your own before you plan through the help of agriculture sometimes.
So you're not farming yet?
We are farming.
so you're coming, you're from you're making it big enough to feed some other countries going around, or only your own say.
No, we feed ourselves and support our children.
Okay, so now you listen. I'm doing these things because I want you to know that this old man has never impacted the lives of where he came from, even though the people needed him most. Even though the people needed him most, he could not impact the lives of the people there. You listen to the man, they struggle to do farming, they struggle to go ahead while the old man, what we know for agricultural business, and maybe in simple English, you get palm oil, few palm trees, and sorry, few palm trees there. So what is it that we're going to remember and say, okay, this man has done this thing so that we'll go ahead and let this man into power? But listen to an interview he did. Listen, some of these failures, things, and everything, that's something you've heard where the man said is squandered. So, admittance of faith that he goes to the stage and says something different, failing to even help the community. He had the opportunity when he was in millions of dollars in his budget that he could even just pass something, just show some level of respect and concern to the people. Amen. Somebody say, oh, now the man function. Then what do you do now? What did that man function now? The people in the village there again to help them. Teacher issue that problem. People issue that problem. The people that doing farming thing again, you get no help towards them. The roads are there again. GIZ needed to help. So what in the old man now? Wait, uno tina. Oh, he might just be living on government taxes, on our tax money, eh? That une might be doing. Hmm? That une should be doing. But listen, play the recording where he talked about what they asked him about the agricultural group he served as head. You listen, you see this journalist, this lady, she asked him a very good question. And listen to the answer the man gave.
You were in charge of a rice committee for West Africa for a year. Now, I was thinking that then the issues relating to rice importation should have ended with you.
The farmer do not need a Ministry of Agriculture to grow food and meat because they have to labor. The purpose of a Ministry of Agriculture that I know are one for policy, two for technology, and three for extension. And I have emphasized this over and again that if these three things do not work, farmers are not going to be involved.
You were in
So,
charge of the rice committee for West Africa
thank you.
for
Hold
a
it right there.
year.
Hold it right there.
Now,
Hold it right there. Now, listen. You see, fellow Liberians, the journalist asked a simple question. You've been in charge of a rest committee for West Africa. Meaning, when they say you're in charge, meaning you be the head. The way President Weah went when he was playing soccer, he went, play, world best, all the things in the world. He came back to Liberia and helped to disarm the child soldiers. He contributed his own money to Liberia. He went to Bujumbura camp, to other camps around the world where Liberians were residing. But listen to the question this journalist, this female journalist asked Joe Boyka. You've been serving as head for the rest committee for West Africa. That you have served and be sufficient that Liberia as a country, we should not be importing rice. They did not ask you. So it means you did not do what you needed to do to have to have used the needed results because you've been the head. You're not telling about minister yet. You're not telling about what. No, you've been the head of it. So you want to tell me again? You people did not need a head for the rest committee in Africa. They do. So the lady asked you simple question. You serving as the head of the rest committee of West Africa, Liberia should not have been in the practice of importing rice. Fair enough. Fair enough. But where are we? When last did you hear that Liberia is not importing rice? But you know what? This old man want to come and blame this government again. Something that he could not do. Imagine. Play that thing. You see, God will continue to expose them. We'll bring all the old things. We'll bring the new ones. But we need to remind you the problem this country is faced with now. Jordan are the ones that created the problems. Imagine this man serve as a head for the rest group of West Africa. What can Liberia boast of? What did Liberia boast of? What are we boasting of as a country? But you know what? When you want to make comparison, we can boast of something from what President Weah in his past activities. Yes. But what can Liberia boast of? Play that interview. But now we should not, if only if Joe Walker is a leader, but now the issue about importing rice, there could we should have put it in place and do a lot of things to make us to be far ahead. But because he doesn't have vision, he's visionless. He doesn't know what to do. He wants to come at a him of power and using that is quote unquote issue where you now work. What are you brave? Eh? You think that when people come in look at that kind of thing, everything? Play that thing again.
you were in charge of the rice committee for West Africa for a year. Now, I was thinking that then the issues relating to rice importation should have ended with you.
The farmers do not need a Ministry of Agriculture to grow food and meat because they have to labor. The purpose of a Ministry of Agriculture that I know are one for policy, two for technology, and three for extension. And I have emphasized this over and again.
So how this thing address the question? You being the head of the agricultural group in West Africa, your country Liberia should not be importing rice. How does that suggest to say, oh, you don't need minister? No, that position, you're not minister for Liberia. You said West Africa. So you are, if a good leader should have done something that your country will benefit. But yesterday, you say, oh, they may not successful agriculturalists or whatsoever. They may not be successful. They may not do this. They may not do this. Hey, man, you see how that lady exposed you in that interview? Other Liberians, let us be honest to ourselves for once. Then Joe play the other one before go to the lines where he said, oh, Liberians and I be named or described by tribes or whatsoever. I want to say something to it. For everything, like I said, I will say today, I will give you something to back what I'm saying to you. Where he said, is Joe Walker 3, all Liberians will not be described by tribes. All these things.
And we are here tonight at the summit. And that's why I believe. I believe in a country that is friendly and that is going to be united, where nobody will, when they ask you, Pele or Loma, I'm a Liberian. That's what it is. Nigeria in which where our resources are going to be for us, where we will not have foreigners selling water to us, a country in which we can see the room that we have, and after we have left, it will show that we have quality, we have money, we have, and that's the kind of country we will see. Maybe I have, but I have so that the country in which we will be represented, we we will not just be celebrating the years, we will celebrate quality life of our people. 176 years, people take care of water on their head. People still walking millions of dollars leaving. There are no roads. That's why I have to satisfy.
So stop it right there.
That's
Now you see, the old man said 176 years, people stay toting water on their head, bathing in bucket. Amen for God. How did you reach this point for people that vying for the presidency to be very dishonest? You used 12 years, you could not do it. Somebody that gets 6 years, they've done what you've not done. They've done things that you could not do. Then you say, so is this old man saying that when they gain 6 years, people now overturn their head again? Fellow Liberians, sometimes when the people do these things, we need to tell them the truth. Here's what he fails to know and understand. The same people you went to in the States, you claiming to love them, your government did not sign the dual citizenship. It is this George Weah administration that gives right to them and tell them, say, even though you are a citizen of America, you can still be a citizen of Liberia and you can invest there, your investment can be well protected. Honor your government, you did not see it. You think that it should not be. You think it should not be. Honor your government. You think it should not be. It is honor this government. The George Weah led administration that gave that allow dual citizenship. Your time, it was a taboo. See the thing where the old men are talking. Let somebody can tell you, say, you know what? I will make you to be rich tonight. Is that possible that you just make some? If you want to make somebody rich tonight, you know what will happen? It is not a real thing. Somehow, somewhere you do something. So it is within the case of Joe. How do you look at this country and say we stay toting water in bucket on our heads? People bathing in bucket. Joe, you forgetting to know that you are vice president. People never have safe drinking water, pump, safe drinking pump water in your town, in your own town. Play the recording. Let the people hear it. Lack of hand pumps. Play. Let the Liberian people hear it. The men are saying people will not
This is the town
people bathing in store. You listen to your own time. Internet system. What do people say?
this is the town the five literally I play the vice president coming from, right?
Yes, surely.
So what can you point to as some of the projects that you have carried out for you people here? Or what can you
Uh,
benefit from?
few hand pumps, but they are down, functioning now.
And I stay how long now? They're not functioning.
Some are more than a year. Only the immigration said build a new pump that they want to use him now.
Yeah, yeah. Joe that's saying that people touching water or in bucket or whatsoever. He served as vice president. Hand pump in a place. Done for 1 year, 2 years. This is the man that's saying that people bathing in bucket. But what kind of politics? This, you know what? It says to me that the old man has run out of idea. He has nothing to say to the Liberian people. And let me tell you something, where this government will win on a very easy stop because it's just to empower their communicators to communicate to the Liberian people of what they've done. President, we are need to suffer say because there are lots of things that this government can tell the people that they wicked and secret and good for nothing people when they were in power they could not do. Are you kidding me? Joe Boca of his age is brave enough to say people still bathing in bucket. Let me talk in a simple English. People say bathing in bucket. Man. So Joe, you come in now, you connect all the horses in the place. And I seen the cancer in 100 days with me. Anyway, the papa, he's aging for you. He's aging. Now I believe that the old man is aging. Let's go to the lines. 07709079070 07709079070 0880-907-907 For those of you listening to us out of Liberia and you want to participate, you can call us on the WhatsApp on +231-770-990 942048 +231 942048. Let me take the very first caller. Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, Segura, how did you do?
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, well, all what you discussed me about the old man, like, you know that the interview that you played about that West Africa issue. Yeah, that interview, they never only like for 1 year. You play to serve as a leader for 1 year. So how you expect me to get working like 1 year?
Okay, very good. Very good, my brother. I like your thing. He served for 1 year, eh?
Yeah,
Okay, so the government to serve for 6 years. So ain't they
yes.
supposed to get a chance to them because he served for 1 year, he could not change everything, right? So that while the government spend 6 years, they can change everything too.
So you can compare the 1 year to the 6 years.
Yes. So we can compare the 12 years to the 6 years. Eh? My brother,
Okay, if
can you
yeah,
compare? I'm asking you, can you compare 12 years to 6 years?
you cannot compare 12 years to 6
Okay,
years.
so it means
And
that
also,
what this
and
government
also,
has done, they've not done it yet. Right?
yeah,
Hello?
that's what.
Good, eve-
On the citizen street,
good evening.
you to listen.
Hmm.
My name is Lada, put it back Lada, the mother, and two children, and two children of and let
Hmm.
me appreciate you for your knowledge, I appreciate you for the essence as a children in the letter. You know, let me just come up with very serious there's a person who has never demonstrated any sense of leadership or understand is to party out there and saying that he's the best person to do this. How can you be the best person to be this country when you not know the president? The president is still a vice president being an experienced person who will actually consider that you do not have anything to do with the civil like when people are saying that we really replace them. How can you replace the people who are out and get
Thank you very much. Next person. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sekou.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I remain the political officer of the National Restore and Defense Team
Hmm.
à la propre defender civil rights for Peter McCauley.
Hmm.
Sekou, in this country, some of our God Almighty in our prayer will in the bed to continue to give you knowledge, wisdom to propagate and bring out the wounds where some of the people who squander our opportunity, and then you're supposed to be a correspondent for BBC to Liberia,
Hmm.
or your opportunity was squandered according to Joseph Nwabwa.
Yeah.
So I want to say that I continue to bless you. But I want to conduct all photos for all who the visions in this case, and we are saved. We are out of the door. Look, in this country, not about president, we are come to my house and give and go back around my table. No, I'm seeing the infrastructure that will not, make me and my family on Liberia to dig there for the fact. Today, the FD, what people you just say that people are going to put their head, the free area, whatever son the devil there and the girlfriend, especially the opposition guys, they can go marry me.
Mm-hmm.
Today, that the parents can go, people as a general people, we are elected in a 2-year calamity. Every Friday, we do a year Saturday, the next month, we do Saturday, we do a year. Two students leave our profit, two students leave our office. But you are here on against the person we are as a president content today is build that invisible part. You can hear any people leave a student, or in a super parliament again. No, this is an idea we want to come to the people. So the person we are, that suffer, no more can have a super party. Everybody will see students coming from different parts of most of our country, even our most of our country, coming to that part to perform to the duty. No more for the so I want to say thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Let's take another person. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
This is Mohammed Jesse. I'm calling from Tikatan.
Mommy, go ahead.
Yeah, people they probably he just looking at empty vessel. You will tell the papi all time that you will not get nothing from him.
Hmm.
All the thing he go down and he sit down on a UG Fagmo, he start talking all kinds of things. October, they come in Saturday and will put big campaign. When
Mm-hmm.
he can't, I want to know which one of the road he will ride on to go over and go campaign. I
Yeah.
want to see it.
The
The
role why
papi
he
not get
be when you're
nothing.
bad president.
Where? The man who time, people come on here for
But you had the thing that people didn't telling
papi
you.
not pay.
Mm-hmm.
The papi not pay. I will be road from here local. Come on bathroom. He time he carry there. A road and he will pay from here from here to local from Yama. The papi error. Get parking lot. The last time when my tire got punctured, my spare tire punctured. I park right in front of his place there. I pay $150.
No, but
Until the
listen,
next
my
morning.
man, I am telling you, the man get the car parking lot to all on the thing. They can play that they all want their earning. That's how worse this old man is.
That papi nothing. That papi looking at empty bottle.
Thank you, my brother. Let's take another person here. Hello.
Hello?
Good evening. Yes, sir. Mama, you know, sorry, you hear me calling you, sir. Sorry, go ahead.
Only church we are doing also. We all the world better, what do you think?
So,
The father
so,
talking about people carrying water to bucket.
mhm.
So he said, if you don't want me 5 years and his good. One of the people on top of it, they are for the and the one thing I do, I have their being, I been, yes, this is a
So,
because that's your ambition. What is not why you're saying for what's here? Why you're I did but
so, why Joe not do your own? Any that you're going government, any of our president, any other to be owner. So it tells you that you love the country you represent. he's saying that Boca Bay the buildings you mentioned. So I'm saying why he
Yeah,
didn't our
yeah.
president? He didn't take money.
See, why he saying that? Why
Oh,
he
so the
literally
other people,
that
yeah.
they work
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. You speaking like Joe Podcast. All of you get an hour way of speaking. Yeah. Hello.
What's up, my man? What's
Smith.
up? Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, you too.
So
Interesting.
you very interesting. Sekou, you
Yeah.
have validated my argument. And I told somebody today that Sekou doesn't have any sense of reasoning and understanding. And
So
you
you
just
been
validated.
pressing on me now.
Oh, Sekou,
You know, but when you say I don't have any sense of reasoning, then you want to be personal. Smith. 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 You call your name now. Call your name so that we. Okay, Smith. Let's respect each other in as much as I respect you. You on the line. If you said anything to me, you know I want to lie to you.
No, what I'm saying,
No, when
Sekou,
you say I don't have a sense of reasoning, if I say that you don't have a sense of reasoning, you lack understanding. How does it sound to you?
but Sekou, you
No, I'm
what
asking you.
what
I'm asking you.
if I say
Smith, you can't
Sekou,
I can't continue with you. You can't be like that. I respect you. You know you came on the line. I respect you. Now. You can do that to me. Hello.
Yeah,
Good evening.
my name is Chubet Baraki.
Mm.
So good evening. Thanks for talking about this question.
Mm.
You know, this can be fun. They opposite ask you. They all men who knows this. Nothing can say.
Mm-hmm.
I want to speak to you. I say, who just left it now? You say that job is not doing nothing. Now I think you are not. If you are going, nobody will have told you if it's pay people for corruption. We are trying to come to your way.
Mm-hmm.
But you are not doing anything. You are not going. You have to go in every place. They say all men are supporting. Because you are the same people like us. Why are they going to know? They are trying to take this people out. We're not going to take it. Why not? You have said that you have you want to come out embarrassment. The all men is not going to be that let me tell you today. The all men in over when he gets home. Nothing is taking away from you. That kind of relief. How many other people in the two kind of not any? What is different with him? Why not going to get out with his dialogue? See the confusion of that whole your parents are the president. So again, that's why we have to say the two things. I have to afford to use it. I'm saying the point.
Yeah.
You are first to his neck. See the father, the promise of God when you work at home. Yeah? If you want to go, God is about it. You say the fact that you're not going to wear they
Yeah.
are left the other foot. Those who be the people of the capital city. You think you pack it, you spread out. Sometimes they put it on the platform. You just can't see people who are right. They say, you want to read somebody, you see the politician, the politician, we have to be smart. So exactly, we're not saying that we have to say the truth. We are not going to say that to stop being bad. So that's my
Or even if you work out 24 years, where he make like where we go down, bath in bucket.
you know who the first schedule of to be bad.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, they just tell you say people are coming with disease. They don't have any message. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. We will reach that very soon. Y'all hear something here? Y'all wait. Hello. Good evening, my brother. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Tiku, for having me. I'm Emmanuel M. Continue. On the conversation, moving to the question of the People's Liberation Party, be of Well, Tiku, let me appreciate you for the tremendous work you continue to do, propagandist work you continue to do, revealing, Tiku previously playing our Tanga audios. You've been playing and said, I wanted to have on President some of us and why that? But this reason I'm praying for you, I think it's sending a thing as far as the reason you see here the people are called to defend their own defensive. Do you know what it means to be, help the rest of something you couldn't do? At least
Yeah.
maybe so that was
And the thing is, my brother, they journalist was being very specific and said, "You said it as the head." One would have thought that your country will not be importing rice.
Sure. Because that question, needs to be the head of that meeting in West Africa.
Mhm.
So many influence that go there. You have thought that as President Joseph Wada was not anything in this country. But what I could do, and put on my sister on all Joseph Wada could do was to pocket the money in the U.S. Let's to the former vice president instead of pay more property to in the U.S.
Mhm.
So the reason why President we are you see is on the menu. That is because you buy property here. If you think we are didn't work for the money when you wait for the money, only for now, I think they should take a rest. The vice president needs to take a rest. He has to show anything to the Liberian people that guarantee his election this time.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. You can compare your private life with President. We are private life. You breathe it. Hello.
Sebu,
Good evening.
how are you?
Go ahead.
Uh, so thank you so much. My name is Frank, and I join you from my.
Sure, go ahead.
Sebu, something really I used to admire about you is about your tolerance. Now, if you're not, you're no longer tolerant.
No, so check. You on the line, you listen to me. I allowed that lady to say what she wanted to say, right? But how do you expect Steve to come and intentionally insult me on the show? And I'm telling you, he doesn't have a remote to say, oh, sorry, I've been lying. If that is what you see, if you say I'm not tolerant, so be it.
Sorry for a little.
No, it's not a lady. But go ahead.
For me, I usually not phone before, and I use my phone is not related to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So every people you talking, I hear you. It's very busy. So I want to get to.
Go ahead.
It is so time when it comes to this country. Because everything you're talking about from honestly, I think it is one of if money really, if money like Nigerian, Nigerian has really anybody who really justice or I don't think that it's supposed to even think about breaking the of this country. Because the reason is very clear.
So what do we say or play here that is contrary? I want you to be specific about them, please.
Okay, thank you. Now you're talking about Mr. Not giving yourself because you were vice president for 4 years, right?
Didn't you listen to the people saying that they don't have influence?
No, the people say they have reform. And the reform is to break down almost 1 year. Right? I listened to the report.
Okay, so when they break down 1 year as a certain vice president, what would you do if you are in our case?
Okay, as a certain vice president, what will you do? If I'm in our shoes, right? I would do it because the king was maybe the two things you say is the man of vice president. He has you have to set up a people understand that we wish to be to take him
Look at that. For 1 year thing, I mean.
I come in now, Mr. Sherry, you know the question is very
No, they did not feel anything, my brother.
Okay, I come in now. Okay, they have to people. So 1 year now the phone breakdown. So okay, you people the vice president can listen. You people not try how to the vice president.
The people say I got another one. The people say they can send communication, but it's level the manual is you only go there one time in a year.
Okay, you see? So it still applies to Mr. William. It still applies to our cheer.
Thank you, my brother. No time. Let me you need to be on the line. Let me take the other person. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm
Bomi, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, so, I just want to come to extend my thanks and appreciation to you for this kind of our people. I listened to that lady. I said, I'm speaking for
yeah, man. That private life you can do, you breathe. We not let our own, yeah. That may risk your life when Joe Walker could not. You only after money, Benny. They make it rescue your own village people. That one, what you can even spend up to 10,000. Yeah. Then they want to be ungrateful to the same president. The man say, I got it all the, I will pay the money. The man say, you can't contest on the woman legacy. Can you imagine? How can an old man ungrateful like this? So, thank you, my brother. Let me take this person here. Let me take Poka Roberts on the line. Poka,
Mr. Sharif.
Poka, you are live. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sharif will build a lot of what we can. We don't have our time, even credit because number one, we are dedicated to propagate the message of our excellency, President George Manor, developmental we are.
Yeah, Poka Roberts.
The biggest, the fearless, innovative, sophisticated CEO of our time,
Poka.
Mr. Sharif.
Poka, let's hear you.
Mr. Sharif, I think God will pay you for the work you are doing for the
Inshallah.
nations. Poka Roberts, a member of the GNW press team, and also a chairman for the strength of the for the real of President George Manor we are. You know, when people come with a kind of chicanery or Mr. Sharif, they don't hold. You know, they call loyalty. Sorry for the expression, but loyalty is not stupidity. Pledging loyalty to Joe Parker, old man Joe Parker yesterday. And I'm not saying we don't know our state or reasoning. No. We know it's in the 40 years. It's to the best of our ability. But whenever he's knocking the ignorance of government and whenever the
wickedness.
Yeah, wickedness and criminality behavior. Get about getting the pleasure of that. So I can tell you, when you put Joseph Parker down today, the only thing that is not in the front of us. Criminality. And nothing to do, not accountability for whom. One of the words from one of America's president has said, it's not what you can do, it's not what I'm going to do for you.
But what can you do for your country?
What you have done for Losa, that you can't rescue.
Yeah, it was some that small village.
Yeah, you can't rescue. But you know what? We are very optimistic and we are competent, and we are a precedented history. We are conducting operation. We are a precedented record. If you want to put up with me, the better to work up politically. That's what I said. Seriously speaking, we are prepared to better me politically. Nothing, no more. We are prepared.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Poka Roberts. Thank you. Let me take another person here. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, I went off the lot. I tried to here.
Yeah, Sheikh, go ahead, my brother.
You know, the thing we're talking here, Mr. Sharif, it is about the system. You cannot entirely based on one person to do the system to work. That is, when you think of the Barca taking a rule for here to move on, I think if anybody looking at that, within the Barca and looking at this move from Colorado, yeah, it's something that will be wrong. And even if anybody thinks that Mr. Barca would have faced the rule all around rehab alone because he was vice president, I think something that would be wrong.
Okay. So you think he should not do it, but then when other people doing it, you don't want to praise them for it.
Okay, so I want to say this to you, right? It is the system that can do the work, and you can only apply the system where you are a good president, then the system will work.
Okay, so why didn't Joe Walker apply the system when he said on the tape that he worked and worked along with the president to do all they did?
So, Mr. Sherivo, do you ask me? I want to say this to you. Are you asking me as to why Joseph Walker didn't apply the system, right? So now that hello.
You're live. Go ahead. You have 2 seconds.
So now that Georgia is occupying
now. No, you see the problem about you. You see, listen to me. No, you're not go ahead. You're listening. You answer this. You're not go ahead. I will not let you go ahead. I ask you a simple question. You're taking it. why didn't Joe Walker use the very system you said it is the system that should work? Why didn't he use the very same system, even though he said he and the president they were working together?
Well, because he was not a president, he was a vice
Oh, so you can
president.
only be president before you do things, eh? You see how you're thinking, you see how you're doing things. You say vice president, then you say, oh, you can I need to do in development. Or when at the bad thing, you're not there, but the good thing you there. Good evening.
Yeah,
Good evening. Please be audible, please.
yeah.
Hmm.
This is just
Hmm.
my brother. I was very difficult to understand it.
To
Because
go.
you have people who will tell you the anything that why you not all one job yet. The one they will tell you, Nana has to be at one of the two calls the uniform.
Ah, you
Every
see?
day I was one can't. He gets there, he will you 100 teachers there, he won't have to go up. So I was somebody that people are telling you, you just don't want to tell them when you were telling them, it's like, yes, somebody says, we have to move. I want to kill that person, I want to dead there. You know where we said, only I now come out, I don't really have to point to the hell on the past. So the president doing good and well. Joe Biden, the people know very well that this man are not doing well. The only one because of the popularity he has, and the only thing they get to get out when they get there to kill him and then go ahead and do what they want to do. Not
Hmm.
that they let you for that. They don't like they
Sure.
get to see him as the lead to get there.
Oh yeah, sure, sure.
But nobody will say Joe Biden has no well for which I will put it.
No, he has
When
no
somebody
record.
said to 5 minutes,
Hmm.
if somebody said to 5 minutes, let's address what Joe Biden has done, and then give the other person 5 minutes what Joe Biden has done. You will see. You will see. So,
Hmm.
what's the good for that? You have to go and look for a failure. No evil is a failure. You all continue to do it. I appreciate you. Thank you for putting me this time.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Maybe some of you people, some of you, I will play certain thing for you to listen. Hello, hello. Now, you see, for those of you maybe you didn't listen, and it's so good that you brought this to my attention. But thank you. When this man was being introduced in the United States for the program which he spoke on, uh, he was being introduced by Eugene Facon. All the good things, all the praises was being named or labeled towards him. Eugene, you were brave enough, all the roads and all these things, you know, the man said that Joe did it. So the bad ones, Joe is not there. And someone said, oh, Facon, I mean, I can't waste my time on Facon. I will not use them as show to talk about Facon. I will not waste my time. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Sharif.
Good evening.
Mr. Sharif.
Good evening.
Yeah, that's right again. But what happened?
No, no, chef. Let's give other people the time to beg you, please. Hello.
Hello.
Hmm.
Hello.
Go ahead.
I'm Jimmy.
Okay, Jimmy, you're not sounding like a human being. You're not talking on the radio, yeah? Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Go ahead.
This is Hilton when I get to
The propo.
defender.
Go ahead.
And I join you from my proper colony location.
Hmm.
Cheku, you are made my day tonight. They were calling you free.
Hmm.
If Joe Parker and all we say together Latino and half then journalists digging deeper.
Yeah.
Event, the way to serve the country for an individual to serve for the 5 years plus
Hmm.
in the government.
To go. They just say, the country here, we went and signed documents say we will there be supporting Joe. So they want us to have a state funeral. Or we not do that thing to us, my brother.
Let me say that Joe are nasty.
Yeah.
Joe Waka is everybody is calling. It's like you forcing somebody to talk. I like you did a chance you not talk.
Yeah.
They say, oh, this is over to me. So that when I say I could say Joe Waka family want Joe Waka to really be president. But the really politicians that making air
My man, Joe said I own problem here. The Papa John will be in the France all day. You said how will be?
How can you around one day for the corner to that corner? You're saying you point situation now with air force. I will know all of your
Thank you, my brother. You said that I own it. Hello. For the news.
Lonely,
Hello.
lonely, GSP, lonely.
What's your name, sir? What's your name? You go off. You're supposed to be on the line. Let me give you the time you say. This is what we do here on the show. We can disagree to agree. Hello.
Yeah, evening, Sergeant Sheikh Sherry.
Good
My name
evening.
is Frank. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
my name is Franklin, and I have to be fine in this yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sergeant, I still want to like know the topic is interesting. Everybody want to participate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sergeant, let me say thank you for the talking for tonight. I started recording the 100 I never get anything with Suman GMB. Only you were doing a tablet that to say how would Suman GMB. Now you want to speak louder because I share the noise in the background. And you know, Sergeant Shebi, for passing the new, we still have our fellow Liberians who are government GMB, the people of the nation. These people who call it justifying, justifiable reason. But that statement, which of course, if you know a short that later to know that you serve as a chair on committee, you serve as a chair on committee. I think you're not even later for this. I mean, let's the start, you're not starting from later for this. At least a year, we're going to do a job. What chair on committee for agriculture in West Africa is why you started.
Yeah, you are there.
Nothing that I know to the people yet justifying it. Right, and even going over country. What people are discussing it. Look how you say that. To be honest, yeah.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. This person. Hello.
Digu,
Good evening.
yeah, good evening.
What's your name?
Yeah, I'll travel land. Long live, being strong.
Okay, let me tell another person. What's your name? Is it long live, long live?
Yeah, good
Hello.
evening, President Sick.
Good evening, my brother.
And I begin with your Idrissa Samar, brother.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, sir, brother, I don't really know why all these reckless opposition that voting out in the way this the other one for is that Emmanuel Riches and Emmanuel Smith and the other foolish check. I
No,
want to say that don't you get that
no, my man. Let's
these
rush our
guys
word.
are reckless,
Yeah,
they are empty-minded. Very
yeah.
empty-minded. Don't you get me? They are blind loyalists.
Thank you.
Please, brother,
Thank you. The news. Hello.
Yes,
Good evening, sir.
hi, this is Augustus.
Augustus, go ahead, my brother.
What I want to say is that thank God my tour is already here because it seems as though the whole show here, like JMB, negativity, GMB. So, but then we have done the million good for Liberia before. Auto 10, we're paying. Idugu, we're paying. Ituba, we're paying. So let's just pray now that all of us can live. But one problem I will use sometimes you last money,
We all will live by the grace of God.
you don't
Yeah,
point to the
we all will
when you
live by
talk
the
to
grace
the
of God. Yeah, you not talking to now.
yeah, why?
And we doing the talking Benny now.
I'm
Yeah,
going, I mean,
we all will live to see it. We pray God for every one of us to have a good health and success in all that we do. No matter our political issues, we stay Liberians and we all need to live together.
yeah.
Okay,
But
thank you
when
very much. Hello,
Yeah, hello?
go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Kira.
Go, okay, hello.
Hello?
Too bad, too bad. You need to move from your monitor. Hello,
Hello?
yeah.
Yeah, deposit after recording from public committee.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you, Shelly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, politics, because sometimes, as for me, I like to show. So sometimes, yeah, I will not tell you to do something, but some people, when they call, they want to bring themselves inside. So as a get up, from yesterday, we doing pray. From here, we're going in the church.
Mm-hmm.
So politics should not carry us.
Oh yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, politics should not carry us. These politicians that we are speaking for today, tomorrow, they will come to food. They are only there to say they are parents. So don't abuse, you don't allow other people. When you know that didn't want to support another person, tell them to come down or you cut them off. Because
Okay. Thank you.
plenty
We'll take
people
that.
listen to your station.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. But sometimes the people can be fair to tell the old man the truth. Hello. Good evening. Yes, good evening.
Yeah. How you doing?
You sounding far from your phone.
Yeah. How you doing?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Not just it for today. My name is Zuma.
You're breaking.
Yeah. You not getting me?
You said
My name is Zuma.
you ready to call a phone and take another person. Yo.
Okay, my name is Zuma Sangba.
You think that phone making yeah.
You not
You,
making
you beg you think making phone yeah, my name your man. Then you be making I pick you. You know how many persons on the line? Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Go ahead, sir.
This is John G. Simo calling from Habel.
Oh my brother. How's Javier tonight?
Habel is okay.
Okay, sir. Let's hear you.
Say good thank you for the show. But my question I want to ask you, the local role of Busio, who then look for the funding of the rule, the first phase from Banga all the way to Konya, who then look for the funding, the rule of building today? My question.
Okay, so government are what? Government is what? Is it? Do you believe?
Continuation, but the people look for the funding.
Wait,
They look for the funding. So if you're doing a road,
hmm.
that means the government is continuing. They are telling you, oh,
Okay, so
so the state
okay,
are
say
looking
that
for
Joe
the
Boga
funding.
man. If you want to put it there, we say say that
Look
Joe
at the
Boga.
road, look at the Araya road. You have not even the one you road for the funding. You have not even paid even 50 kilometer quota. You know, 3 years now. All the major road, all community road, the people build major highways. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. I do appreciate. This is what we do. We allow you to express yourself, and this is the beauty of the show. We take this person on the line. Good evening. We're going to take two more calls. We call it a day. The news is up next, and you will need to go. So we're going to take two more calls on 07709079070880907907907. Hello.
Yeah, but I'm still going to
Hey, Jerry.
I just want to challenge that for I get left and see that any the one or two and the user program level the budget for that.
Mame,
Nothing.
was in my own
So
anything,
I
brother.
challenge it, any minute of people I would challenge it to be myself very on here. People say Andrew food to get usually watching. Go on your phone and see how that rule of you. Go on your phone. It's there.
Okay. Thank you, Chief. This person is the last person. Hello. Good evening. Go ahead, sir. You live. Oh, so.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want to know, Georgia, is that mean enough? I know I talk about him to good things there. You can go and be talking about people, how you feel at the dark.
Checking. Hello, hello. I'm lady is at the top. Yeah. Sometimes they call, sometimes they can do all kinds of things. Can you imagine if they say the president is not made enough? Are you kidding me? Anyway, you show your limitation. Hello. Good evening. This last caller. Hello. The news is up next. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. Let's hear you.
Okay, I'm Jenny Kuba. Kuba. I really want to make a point here.
Jenny Kuba, but you already on the line.
Hello.
You are live.
Across?
You are across already.
Okay. I really want to know, particularly you in the station. This Joe we are you're running with, we all respected him. We knew he was a little boy. Now I'm going to do better for this country. It's our all thing to go straight. But Joe, we are now from heading government. And Joe Baba was still heading government.
You say you want to ask me the question still going?
What have you to say? Look at from here to the southeast. If somebody want to leave for the south, got to go through Ivory Coast. Do you think it's a prayer enough to do that?
Thank you very much. No time. We need to go. The news is up next. That's all the time we've got to be here. Up next is the news. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you great people of Liberia for listening to the People's Program on Voice of Liberia 104.1. Join us tomorrow. I wish time we'll be back here to do the people's job. Let us discuss the issues. We can disagree to agree, but let us not go back to the bushes. Certainly, it's clear and direct. My name is Sekou Sharif.